Hi everybody, happy Friday. We've been working so hard on our literary retells this week, and by the end of this writing session, you're going to have finished your literary retell because today we are editing, okay? Now, editing means to make changes, okay? To fix mistakes, to make our work better. All right, and it's such an important part of our writing process because it helps to make our work the best it can possibly be. All right, now I'm going to hold up this writing checklist that I've put together, okay? And these are some of the things that we're going to think about, okay? This is a writing checklist, so we need to think about whether we have included these things, such as I've used capital letters to begin a sentence, okay? I have used finger spaces. I have used ending punctuation. So that might be full stops. That might be exclamation marks if you're including them in your literary retell, okay? I have used my neatest handwriting and I have used spelling strategies. They are the things that I want you to think about when you're editing today, okay? I'm just going to pop that here for a moment and we'll come back to it soon. Okay, now a good writer needs to go back and read what they have. Today, I'm going to go back to the start of my writing and I'm going to proofread. Okay, now it's so important to proofread because that's when we can see if any changes need to be made. So now I'm going to proofread and using a red texter, you'll use a red pencil if you have one at home. Okay, using a red texter for me, I'm going to go through now and make changes to my work to improve my work. Okay, let's do that together and then it's going to be your turn. All right, Little Red Riding Hood. In the story, the characters are Little Red Riding Hood, the Big Bad Wolf, the Old Gran, Mum, and the Woodsman. Okay, now I'm just thinking that maybe I can use a word to describe the woodsman. I know the woodsman was helpful. Okay, so that's probably a good adjective I could use. So if I want to add that word in, I'm going to do a little arrow or a carrot. Okay, I don't mind whether you call it an arrow or a carrot. It just means that you want to squeeze a word in here and you can then write it at the top. Mum, and I'm going to write helpful. Squeeze that up there. And the helpful woodsman, okay? I've now just made an improvement to my writing, okay? I've made this sentence more interesting. Let's continue. Just make sure you can see that full stop properly. The story is set in the scary woods and at Gran's house. I'm going to add another adjective in here and say little house, okay? She lived in a little house. In the beginning of the story, Mum asked Little Red Riding Hood to visit Gran and bring her some food. Along the way, Little Red Riding Hood got distracted by some pretty flowers. This was when a scary grey wolf spotted her. Little Red Riding Hood forgot about her mum's rules and started talking to the shifty wolf. Okay, I've included the punctuation that I needed. I've included capital letters at the start of my sentences, so I don't need to make any changes here. Okay, let's see if I need to make any changes anywhere else. She told the mean wolf where she was going and he quickly ran off to Gran's house. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to read the middle. In the middle of the story, the mean bad wolf went inside Gran's house and swallowed her. He put Gran's clothes on and climbed into bed, and soon after, Little Red Riding Hood arrived. I'm actually going to make a small change here because that's a long sentence, okay? And when we have a sentence that's too long, we need to take a break. So I'm going to look back here. He put Gran's clothes on and climbed into bed. I'm actually going to put a full stop here, okay? Going to cross out the and I'm going to give that S, change it to a capital, okay? Now I've broken it up into two separate sentences. I'm going to reread that now. He put Gran's clothes on and climbed into bed. Soon after, Little Red Riding Hood arrived. I'm much happier with that now. It's a lot easier to understand, and I didn't lose my breath trying to read one long sentence. Okay? Soon after, Little Red Riding Hood arrived. She started talking to the nasty wolf, thinking he was Gran. She noticed his huge teeth and enormous ears. The wolf jumped out of bed and swallowed Little Red Riding Hood too. Okay, now you might find lots of mistakes in this part. Let's work through it together. At the end of the story, luckily the woodsman heard trouble. He turned, that sounded like the end of a sentence. I don't have a full stop or a capital letter here. Let me reread that. At the end of the story, luckily the woodsman heard trouble. Okay, so I need to add a full stop here because I can hear that that's the end of a sentence. And now this is the start of a sentence, so I need to make sure this is a capital H. Okay, H. At the end of the story, luckily the woodsman heard trouble. He turned the wolf upside down and saved them. I've just started a new sentence and I have forgotten something. I've forgotten my ending punctuation, okay? I need a full stop here. Or you might even think it might need an exclamation mark, okay? He turned the wolf upside down and saved them. They chased the wolf. He was never seen again. Okay, they chased the wolf. He was never seen again. I either need a full stop here or I can add in the word and. That's what I'm going to do. They chased the wolf and pop a little caret there and write the word above, and he was. Now we know this is not how we spell was. I see it spelt like this a lot though, as W-A-Z. This is not how we spell was. I'm going to fix that. W-A-S. Much better. They chased the wolf and he was never seen again. Now I have spelt the word seen incorrectly, so I need to underline that. Okay, and I need to write the correct spelling up above. Seen has a double E. I can hear that E sound. And I've just squeezed the word in here, okay, but I have not included a full stop at the end of my sentence. Alright, and we know how important our ending punctuation is. Okay, let's just reread from here. Actually, let's reread the whole ending. At the end of the story, luckily the woodsman heard trouble. He turned the wolf upside down and saved them. They chased the wolf and he was never seen again. Alright. I have now edited my writing. It's your turn to go off and edit your writing. Remember to use a red pencil if you have one. Remember to read your whole literary retell from the beginning, okay? And make sure that you are making improvements, correcting your work to make it better, okay? Remember to send your work through to me. I can't wait to see your best literary retells. Bye, everybody.